So now that you understand what the stock market actually is and why it's important why it would be important for you to start investing, um, let's really talk about how you would actually invest. Like, how would you go about actually putting your money into the stock market and eventually, hopefully, taking it out with some profit, right? Or a lot of profit, right? So basically, what you want to do is, well, first off, you want to figure out what you actually want to invest for. Like, what is your actual goal in investing? Like, what are you looking to do? Like, are you looking to invest long term? Like, are you, let's take that off caps lock because we got a whole title. um, are you looking to do some long term investing? So are you looking to buy a stock of a company that you know is already doing well and holding it long term? Or are you looking to trade? So basically, are you looking to buy a stock that you see is at what you feel is a good price and selling it the next day, the same day, the next week, the next month, or whatever, because you feel like it'll go back to what you feel is a solid price, right? So basically, from what we spoke about earlier in the previous video, where we saw a stock that was at a very low price, and a year ago it was at a much higher price, right? Right. So we saw Callon Petroleum that was at 80 something cents, and a year ago its highest was $8 and something cents, right? So are you looking to trade? Are you looking to invest long term? And by trading, I mean, like, are you looking to actively trade? So you can do things like, actually, let's not even open up a new text tab. So like by trade, I mean, like, can I edit this text tab? I guess I can. So whatever, we'll just add a new text tab. So are you looking to day trade? Um, Basically day trading, you can swing trade, basically trading within, like basically buying a stock and selling it within the next week, the next few days, the next whatever, right? So basically, are you looking to trade these stocks? Are you looking for fast money? Because trading is pretty much faster money than long-term investing, right? Because if you're trading, like, you can buy a stock right now for $10 and it could go up to $20 by the end of the day, and you can sell it at the end of the day and take your little $10 profit, or however many shares you bought. You can take that profit for the day and call it a day, because at the end of the day, like, that's a lot more profit you would make compared to putting your money in a savings account that's returning you what, like 1% or 0.1% or something like that for the entire year. So yeah, exactly. So you're pretty much like, if you were to trade and you were to buy something that's $10 right now and sell it for $20 later, you doubled your money. That's a lot better than what a savings account would do for you, right? Or are you looking for long-term investing, where you can buy an Apple stock right now for 298 whatever bucks, or 400, or whatever, however much Apple stock costs right now, right? And you think that Apple is going to take over the world within the next 20 years and that stock will be worth $1,000. So you buy yourself like a good 10, 20 shares, 30 shares, maybe 500 if you're balling, right? And you just hold. You hold until, they become the monster in the world, and now you're rich alongside with them, right? Well, they're still going to be holding more money than you, because it's their company you're investing in at the end of the day, right? But you get what I'm saying. So pretty much figure out your plan, figure out what kind of investing you want to do. And once you've done that, you can start looking for brokers, right? Investment, like brokers that you would put your money into, so that you can start buying pieces of these companies, buying shares and stocks and things like that, and selling shares and stocks and things like that, right? So, what we spoke about within the last few videos was Robinhood, right? Robinhood is basically one of the brokers that I use. I use a few others. Actually, I'll give you guys a list of the brokers that I use within the full course, the full video series, and I'll leave a link to the full video series down below. You can find that down below. If it's available at the time that you're watching this video, you can go ahead and sign up for it. If it's not, you'll just land on a page that says it's coming soon, and I'll just take your email, and so that I can actually email you when it actually comes out. So that makes sense, right? I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I'll give you guys a whole list of different brokers that I use, and or different brokers that I would trust. But currently, we will be using Robinhood because I think Robinhood is pretty solid, and also they will give you a free stock if you sign up using my link. They will also give me a free stock if you sign up using my referral link. So I feel like that's awesome. But a lot of brokers will do the same thing. So I don't think like this is a promotional kind of thing right now that I'm doing, because it's honestly not. They're actually a pretty good broker. They just happen to give people free stocks, and I just feel like I should mention that because people like free stuff. I like free stuff, so why not mention it, right? So basically, you would put your money into um, a brokerage account, right? So you would open up an account with a brokerage like Robinhood, right? You open up your account, you connect your bank account to it so that you can transfer money into it. Once you've got your money into it, you are now ready to buy pieces of different companies, right? You're now able to buy stocks or buy shares of any companies that you'd like. Okay, so once you see, or once you've done your research and you've decided, okay, I want to buy a piece of this or that stock, you can then just go right ahead and buy that stock. Okay, so that's pretty much like the gist of it, right? So if I was to want to buy a stock, when I talk about doing the research, like, and I want you guys to understand this before you actually start throwing your money into things. Like when I talk about doing the research, like think about the previous video we did, like when we looked at the past performance of a specific stock, right? So if like I'll just draw it out right now, right? So if I'm looking at a stock and this is a yearly view of the stock, right? So if I'm looking at a stock and it's just been choppy for a year, middle of that year it went up, skyrocketed, and then it just been, oops, that's a bad line to draw, but it's just been declining, and then it goes up again, and then coronavirus, and then it's like just chiseled down at a certain point. If I'm looking at a stock like that and then it just bounces right back up, like things like this will just always happen, right? If I'm looking at a stock like that, I'm looking at the past performance of the stock. And that's when I can, pretty much determine when I want to buy and when I want to sell, right? So basically, what I mean by that is like right here would be an ideal spot to buy a stock, and right here would be an ideal spot to sell if you've bought here, right? Or if you've bought here, right here would be the great, like the perfect opportunity to sell that stock if you had bought it from right here, right? And these are all ideal. These are all ideal scenarios, which I don't want to say never happen, but you kind of just have to be prepared and be like super on it. You got to really be watching the stock and know what you're doing in order to catch such a great play where you've bought here and sold here. But like things like this will happen where you've bought here and you sell here, which is okay because you still made however much profit this is, right? So let me just draw some lines here just to give you an idea. So let's say this was $5, right? And this was $10, right? So let's say you bought at 5 and you sold at 10. You made $5 for however much shares that you've had, right? So let's say I had 500 shares. 500 times 5 is 5 times 5, 25. That's 25. So $2,500, right? If I had 500 shares and I paid $5 for each of them, you guys can do the math. I'm not gonna sit here and do math with you again. This is the third video within this series where I'm just giving up on math. Okay, so as you can see, you don't need to be a math expert to trade stocks or to invest your money. You just need to know basic buy low, sell high. Always remember that term or those terms or that, phrase. Buy low, sell high. I'm making this chart look retarded or stupid. Sorry for my language, but buy low, sell high. I'm going to say it again so it can just ring in your head. Buy low, sell high. Okay, so just keep that with you at all times when you're investing your money and when you're doing your research. So if I'm looking at a stock, I don't know if I open another tab if it's still in record. No, it's not. If I'm looking at a stock, right, and the and I look at the past performance of that stock, and let's say like this stock. Let me just erase this last part right here because it just makes no sense. Right. So coronavirus happens right here, right? And the stock crashes, right? So if I'm looking at this stock, what am I doing with these drawings, man? This is crazy. So if I'm looking at this stock and it skyrockets up like past its highest point in a whole year, You get what I'm saying? Like, and this is a yearly chart. If this stock goes right ahead and skyrockets past this highest point in a whole year, me personally, I am not gonna buy up here. I will not be buying up here. What will convince me to buy up here? There's nothing out in the world that's gonna convince me to buy up here. Why? Because this goes against my beliefs of buying low and selling high. If I buy up here, I'm essentially buying high. This is literally the highest it's been in a year. I'm not gonna buy here. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm doing the research and I see that in the past this stock has hit this price that it's at right now and that was its highest point, I'm not gonna buy there. I would much rather, I'm pretty sure you would too, buy here and sell here. You get what I'm saying? So now it's like, all right, I bought at probably its lowest point in a year because of this whole pandemic, and I sold at what I know, what I like for sure know is its highest point in a year because I see the data, I see the information, I can go back that far. And if you remember in our last video on Robinhood, we can go back as far as 5 years to see what's been going on with that stock. So when you're doing your research, just know what you want to do. Okay, so in terms of long-term investing, do the long-term research. Do the 1 year chart. Look at the 1 year chart. Look at the 5 year chart. Look at how the company's been doing over the time span of 5 years. If the company's been declining, let me erase this. If you look at the 5 year chart, right, and the company's stock price has been, oh, we're still on eraser mode. Let's undo that. And the company's stock price has just been going down, that should tell you something. That should tell you that this is not a smart investment for long term. For long term, okay? That should tell you that this is not a good buy for long term. What kind of returns are you looking for long term when over the time span of 5 years this stock has been declining? What exactly is making you believe that it's going to take a turn for the best? There's nothing making me believe that. So I hope that there's nothing making you believe that either, right? But in retrospect, right, you can trade this stock at any time, whether it's declining or not, you can still trade it, right? So instead of the 5 year chart now, if I'm going to trade this chart, if I'm going to trade this stock, this company, right, I will look at the daily chart or the weekly chart. So let's say I'm looking at the weekly chart. Wow, I just drew out the word, and that was just like the worst idea. So let's say I'm looking at the weekly chart. You saw how the 5 year chart was looking all declining and very bad for investment opportunities. The weekly chart will look a lot different. The weekly chart would probably look something like this. Like for the 5 year chart, it's like the overall movement of this company is going down, but over a time span of a week, it's still making a lot of movement. It's still making a lot of up and down movement. So if I wanted to trade this, I would want to again buy low, sell high, and I can trade this all week. I can buy low and sell high all week, and these movements will happen daily also. So you can buy and sell all day. You get what I'm saying? Like this is a bad example right here, but that's just based off my drawing. But you pretty much, hopefully, you get the picture. Like you can day trade any stock, whether it's going up or down, because throughout the day and throughout the week and throughout the month, it'll make multiple movements up and down. You just have to know how to catch those up and down movements. Okay, so long term investing, very different from trading, day trading, swing trading, whatever kind of trading you're doing. These are two different things. So figure out what you want to do. If you want to go long term, make sure you're looking at the long term charts. Make sure you're not making any bad decisions based off past performance. If you want to day trade, make sure you're looking at the long term charts to know the overall direction of the stock, but trade off of the weekly charts, the 3 month charts, the definitely the daily charts. You want to trade short term because you want to make short term decisions. You want to make fast decisions. You want to buy low and sell high very fast in a very short amount of time. Okay, so with that being said, that is how you actually invest your money. Okay, so set up a brokerage account, connect your bank account to it, in order to transfer your money into it, and also in order to transfer money out from it, because once you've made your profit, you would want to, I don't know, take your money out and enjoy it. And that's especially if you're day trading, because if you're day trading, you're most likely looking for investing as another stream of actual income or supplement income that you can use. So yeah, so set up a brokerage account. I will link I will leave a link to sign up for Robinhood below this video. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and just click on the description. You'll find a link. If you're watching this on my website, go ahead and scroll down to the bottom of the page. You will find a link there. Okay, so with that being said, if you do want to take the full course, I have a full video series where I will teach you guys, or share my knowledge with you guys about a lot more in terms of investing and in terms of like the stock market in general. So if you do want to take that course, again, there will be a button or a link, depending on where you're watching this, at the bottom of this video. So with all that being said, thank you for watching. Again, if you do take the course, I will see you in there. If you will not take the course, that is also fine, but you can also contact me any way you please. So use the comment section to your advantage. Okay, so thank you for watching. Again, my name is Wood Lagute, and I will see you when I see you. If I do see you, I'm out of here.